Hey everyone, today we're going to look at what could be the next massive leap in how we learn. An AI tutor that does more than just spit out facts. One that actually gets to know you. Okay, let's jump right in. So, we have to start with this question, right? We all know that AI chatbots, they're great at pulling up information and solving math problems. But is that actually teaching? Or is it more like a fancy talking textbook? Sure, they're informational, but are they truly smart enough to connect with the student on a personal level? And this slide just lays it all out. On the one hand, you have your standard generic chatbot. It's totally one size fits all, a bit impersonal, just informational. But on the other hand, imagine a personal coach, something that's adaptive, empathetic, and yeah, even transformational. That's the real goal here. So how do you get from one to the other? Well, it's not about one single feature or some clever new trick. The real difference is building an entire system from the ground up that's designed for deep, meaningful personalization. And that system has a name: RAPID Growth. It's a pretty brilliant acronym where every single letter stands for a different piece of the personalization puzzle. Now, instead of just reading off a list, we're going to break these down into 3 big themes. It'll help us see how they all work together to build a complete picture of you as a learner. Let's start with the foundation, the first group, which we'll call the academic core. This part uses the R, H, and D from our acronym to get a really clear snapshot of what you already know, and maybe more importantly, where you need a little help. So first up in the core, R is for resume and academic history. Think about it. Before your first lesson even starts, the AI is already getting to know your background. It's kind of like that first meeting you have with a guidance counselor or a personal advisor. Now, here's what's so cool about this. A normal chatbot, it starts totally cold. But this system, it can actually read your history to create these things called skill vectors and knowledge estimates. So from the very first minute, the pacing is already tailored to you. No more wasting time on stuff you already know. Okay, now let's build on that with H, which stands for historical performance data. This isn't just about what you say you know, it's about backing it up with the real deal. Your actual test scores, your grades, all of that. And what this does is pretty incredible. It completely solves what they call the cold start problem. There's literally no guesswork involved. By using your real performance data, the AI knows exactly where you stand and can fine-tune its approach right from the get-go. And the final piece of this academic core is D, for difficult subjects. This is where you, the student, get to be really honest and tell the AI, hey, this is what I struggle with. This is what makes me nervous. This is so important, because it means the AI knows exactly where to lean in and help you out the most. Instead of just glossing over the hard stuff, it adds what's called focused scaffolding. You can think of it like extra support beams to help you build real mastery. And, just as important, to build your confidence. Okay, so now the AI has your academic profile down cold. But that's only half the story, isn't it? Our next big theme is what we'll call the personal touch. This is where it uses P, I, and G from our acronym to understand who you are as a person. Let's start with P for learning preferences. Are you a visual person? Do you learn best by listening? Or do you need to get your hands dirty and actually do something? The system has to know this, because even the best explanation in the world is useless if it's delivered in the wrong way. And this is where it gets really smart. Instead of just giving you a wall of text, the AI can pick the perfect way to teach you. If you're a visual learner, boom, you get diagrams and GIFs. More of an auditory learner, here's an audio clip. Kinesthetic, you get interactive tools to play with. It just removes all that friction and makes learning feel way more natural. Next up, and this might be my favorite part of this whole thing, is I for interests and hobbies. This is where the AI learns what you actually care about, what you're passionate about, whether that's basketball or video games or, I don't know, Star Trek. And just look at this quote. This is where the magic happens. The system can literally weave your interests into the lessons themselves. So you're not just learning boring old algebra, you're learning it by solving a Star Trek logic puzzle. I mean, come on. That makes things so much more relevant and, frankly, way more fun. And now we've got G, goals and milestones. You know, it's one thing to do your homework for today.
It's a completely different thing to understand why it matters for your future. And this feature connects that daily grind to your biggest dreams.
The system uses this awesome concept called backward planning. You start by telling it your ultimate dream goal. Let's say it's becoming a biologist. It then maps out all the key milestones you need to hit and works all the way back to create a specific learning plan for today. It gives real meaning to the day-to-day work because it's all tied to the person you want to become.
All right, finally, we've arrived at our third group, the supportive framework. This is what brings everything else together by understanding the context of how you learn best. It uses the last 5 letters of our acronym to build an environment that's not just smart, but emotionally intelligent and truly accessible. And this slide just shows how incredibly deep this goes. Let's just run through them quickly. A is for avatar and sentiment, so the AI can actually read your mood and change its tone. R is for routine, where it helps you build a study schedule that actually fits your life. O is for obstacles, and this one is huge. It can provide real accommodations for things like ADHD or dyslexia. W is for well-being, where it actively checks in on you to help prevent burnout. And last, T is for tech comfort, so it knows when you're ready to try more immersive tools like VR. It's a full 360-degree support system. So when you put all of these pieces of the rapid growth system together, the academic part, the personal part, and the supportive part, the result is, well, it's something totally different. You end up with an AI that feels less like a cold calculating machine and way more like a true ally, a partner who's actually on your team.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. For decades, we've been building machines that know everything there is to know about a subject. But what happens when we finally build one that also knows everything about the student? What if your AI didn't just know chemistry or history, but it also knew you? Thanks for tuning in.